Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Michael, again. I'm back. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more energetic this video. I know the first one I was kind of off, kind of felt weird, uncomfortable. I'm gonna try to get better at being camera. That was a suggestion I got from somebody else, so thank you. You know who you are. I also got a question about this book. This is where I have my notes that I write down for the video so I don't lose track. Hopefully, as time goes on, I won't have this anymore. Okay, so now, before I get into the actual main topic for today, I want to just say that keep in mind, these videos aren't necessarily for everybody. If you got out of the military, it was a pretty seamless, easy transition for you. Really, these videos aren't gonna be too much help. But that's not to say don't suggest them to one of your friends who maybe just got out. But then on the other side of the spectrum, you know, the people that are struggling, it's harder for them. This is really who those videos are for. You can always contact me on my Instagram. Okay, so we're gonna get into today's topic, and that is mental health. We're gonna look at mental health in the active duty side of things, as well as why the mental health treatment and the stigmas and things like that, active duty wise, are what is making mental health for veterans so hard. How many times have you gone to your superior officer or your staff NCO and you're like, hey, I wanna go to mental health, and they look back at you and they say this: if you go to mental health, your career's over. Well, that stigma alone, saying those words, that if you go to mental health at the beginning of your career, automatically right there makes that individual not want to go to mental health ever, because they're worried about the career. They don't want to get kicked out for mental reasons or anything like that, which realistically that's not what would happen. What would happen is you get like an antidepressant or whatever, but it's just the idea, because in that community, especially in my community of being in the infantry, that if, you know, I'm not saying this is me personally, I can see somebody else thinking this way and I, you know, witnessed it, that if somebody isn't mentally fit enough to not go to medical, how can I trust them with a rifle in their hand or in combat? And that is a very unfair way of thinking, because just because they want to go talk to a mental health specialist doesn't mean they can't. They're not reliant in combat or at their job. And that stigma really carries its way through, I think, all services. You know, I'm specifically the Marine Corps, that's what I know, and I've heard it time and time again. You know, I've said it myself, and looking back on it and realizing the detriment that that could do to somebody, because that could realistically save somebody's life. By if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I want to go to mental health, then you let them go and you let them get the treatment, the help that they're looking for, because realistically that's what they're doing. That could be in their eyes a cry for help, is just asking to go to mental health. And because of that stigma so rampant in the military, it drives a more powerful wave of it into the veteran community, especially the bro veteran community. You know, the guys, they thank me for my service and all that kind of stuff. Those are the guys that really carry on that, oh, if you have a mental disorder or you aren't as mentally strong as I am, then you're weak. And it's just really helping drive that narrative that it makes you anything less than what you actually are. And I want you to know that just because you want to go get that mental health, you want to go see somebody, you want to talk to somebody, there's nothing wrong with that. Because put it in the shoes of somebody who just graduated high school. This is a little bit of story time. This isn't, you know, my story. This is just a generic, ambiguous story that I feel like anybody can relate to. So let's say you graduate college, or correction, you graduate high school, you're 18 years old, and you go to your recruit training for 13 weeks, okay? 13 long weeks, that's 3 months. Then, after that, you go home for about 10 days for leave, and then you go to MOS school. And for the infantry, it's about 9 weeks, and then you go to your unit. And then let's say you're with your unit for about a year, and then you deploy. Go to Afghanistan, and let's say this is 2012. When you go to Afghanistan in 2012, you're 19, 20 years old, and you're getting in firefights, engaging the enemy, you're seeing people die, whether it's your friends, the enemy, men, women, or children that are civilians, and you come back, and you really don't get ways to deal with that. And because of that stigma saying that if you go to mental health, your career's over, you don't want to deal with that. You're just like, no, my career's too important, I have no deployment left over, I want to, you know, I want these benefits, I don't want to get out early. And that's that because of those words, that's what people think, and that's why people are scared to go. Now, let's look at a bigger picture. You just spent 6 to 8 months overseas, or a year, depending on which branch you are, overseas in a combat zone, and you're seeing men, women, and children, right? You're seeing things that are what they call that are moral injuries. Those are hurting you. You know, there's something that you can't necessarily just let go of, but you know that if you talk about it to the right people, and there's the correct ways of going about expressing that emotion in the right ways instead of going to the bottle or drugs. And don't get me wrong, there is a trying effort from the battalion, because I know when I got back from my deployments, they give us a quick little class about bad feelings or anything like that. You could talk to the chaplain or a psychologist or psychiatrist, and they, you know, it's one class, and then you have another class where it's back in the saddle, which is just letting you say like, hey, by the way, we're back here to train now. and you don't have time to digest and really understand how you feel with those emotions. And that, because it isn't offered while you're in, it gets transferred out and you still have those feelings when you're a veteran. But now those feelings are resurfacing worse and harder because now you don't have the support system of your close friends. You don't have that camaraderie. You don't have that sense of purpose anymore. So you're already getting downed during that transition, plus all those emotions that you have from things that you maybe have seen or maybe have done. And that's just resurfacing itself, and it's just a bad mix. Because those are things that lead veterans to take their lives. If we can combat that and change the way mental health is perceived in the military while people are still in, if we can offer them proper mental health treatment, then why aren't we doing it? So we say the statistic is 22 veterans a day commit suicide. If they had proper mental health training, proper access to mental health, and there weren't so many negative stigmas going on in the military, we could cut that number in half. We can cut it to 3/4. Who knows we can cut it into. But if those individuals had the proper mental health treatment that they wanted, or they were trying to look for, or they just straight up denied, we could save their lives. And it all starts with talking about it, starting the conversation, putting pressure on commands. And I think we can do this together. All right, everybody, that's the video. I know it's kind of sad, it's kind of somber, but I wanted to get that out of the way now because I knew that it's a topic that is really kind of the driving force behind this channel. So I want to get that out of the way now so that way we can go on to better topics, more helpful things, and just genuinely happier things. So if you guys can leave a like, comment, and subscribe, that would be great. And stay tuned for my next video. We'll see you later.